What's up, guys? Welcome back to Card Bounty Hunters. Today we are doing a deck profile for Shanks, the OP09. I took this deck to locals yesterday. I ended up going 4-1, got second, did 5 rounds of Swiss. So it ended up being really good. A lot of different colors, so gave me a lot of different matchups, which I have not played against, so it was fun. Let's start off. I run Building Snake. This card right here is basically a Gordon, minus 3k to one of your opponent's characters, then bottom decks itself. Then the next card, I run the Searcher for Redhead Pirates, Ota. Helps me search for all the red hair components. Next, I'm gonna go into my 2k counters. I run 4 Otamas. It's a great card. 2k counter plus also give opponent minus 2000 on play. Then I got Sanji, another 2. I run 2 of these. 2k also that ability that he has, activate main, helps against that Blackbeard. So another 4 2ks that I run, also searchable for Redhead Pirates. It's gonna be Lime Juice. This card right here, not only is it a 2k and it's searchable for Ota, but it does help me out in a lot of my situations when they have a blocker up and you need to get that last swing in. The on play on this is if you have a blocker 4000 power or less, you can't activate blocker, and so with all the reduction you have in your deck, it really does help for that end game situation, pretty much on every leader that has a blocker towards the end. So it's a really good card, and on top of that it is a 2k. So next up I got another 4 2k Hongo, which is also searchable for Redhead Pirates. This card right here also does help me too for the cost reduction I have in my deck. Helps me pop certain things, and also helps against Blackbeard because his is an activate main instead of it being an on play. And you just rest the card, give 2000 power to one of your opponent's characters. So it does help with your not only with the cost reduction, it is a 2k and your popping capability for this deck. And last, for my counter side, I'm running 2 0 counters. Trash a card from hand, gain plus 3000. Just helps when I get real bricky with this deck, because sometimes you just keep drawing your top end and you don't have no counter, so it makes it tough. So next up, I have 4 Lucky Roos. This card is a very key staple for this Red Hair Pirates deck, just because it's a blocker, and on top of it being a blocker, on KO a character with 6000 power or less. Not only does it help with the block, but it also helps with removal, and that is very key in this game right now, removal. Next up, I have 2 Silver's Rayleigh, also a blocker. I have 2 of these. I might add a little more. I might add like 1 more of these, just because it's another blocker that I have, and on top of that, if your opponent has 5000 power or more characters, you draw 2, trash 1. Helps me out a lot during towards endgame if I'm trying to look for Lime Juice. Next, I run 2 Yasups. This card is very good. Gives one of your opponents, or gives one of your characters or leaders plus 1000 power for until the end of your next turn. I think it's really good, but I don't know, I'm not really feeling it in this deck. Sometimes I just, I don't play it, it just stays in my hand. So I might take that out, but not too sure about it yet. Now I'm going into my top end part. I run 4 Ben Beckham. This card is amazing. It not only trashes an opponent 6000 power or less, but it's a 7/7, so it is a heavy hitter as well. I run 3 Edward Newgates. This card not only is another key removal piece for this deck, but it is a 7/8 body, and that swing is insane on top of it being a KO ability. But it does help me when I'm not seeing any of my Ben Beckhams or any of my early removal. So just in case I don't see that, it does help me later on with that, because when I pair that up with some of my other minusing capabilities, it's pretty disgusting. Next up, I run 3 Rayleighs, and this card pairs up so well with that Edward Newgate that I just showcased. Give -3 and -2 to one of your opponent's characters into the start of your next turn, and on top of that you KO something 3000 power or less. It is a really good combo with the Newgate. Just makes it very difficult for your opponent to keep things on board. And now going into the rush aspect of my deck, I run 3 dragons. These dragons are not only rush, but give 2 Rested Dawn to your opponent, to your leader or character. Towards the end game, dropping a dragon down and swinging 2 9Ks with not only dragon and your leader, it is very tough to defend. I really like that card. I miss rush. I'm so glad I'm able to play that again. Next up, I run 4 of basically the best card in this deck. I run 4 10-drop Shanks. The rush, give one of your opponent, or give all your opponent's characters -1000. This card is literally, to me, in my opinion, the best card in this deck. It just literally stops your opponent from doing a lot of moves. Makes them have to swing, basically adding 2 Dawn to their characters because of your leader ability minusing 1000. So it's very tough. And then I teched in a couple cards that just give me early game rush. So I put 2 Kid Killers. You don't understand how surprised people were when I put these down. Definitely caught people by surprise. And on top of that, 1 Rush Zoro. Just early game. Just be hitting your opponent, and it's very hard for them to not only get rid of because of all my 2Ks, but just to keep having a 5K swing at them. It's awesome. And last but not least, I run 1 10-drop Shanks, and this one is the on play, KO one of your opponent's characters, 10,000 power or less. Another key piece for removal. I'm honestly thinking about adding another one of these, just because when it gets towards the end game and people start stacking big bodies, sometimes I can't reduce them enough to pop them either with my new gear, my Beckham. So this is my deck profile for OP09 right now. I appreciate you guys for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out some of our older videos for some of our content. Appreciate you guys.